I was slip hunting around. I heard a lot of commotion going on bottom of this little draw. Snuck up over the edge, got to where I could see down in it, and I spotted this buck chasing this doe. She ran up the hill and she's about 20 yards to my left. I'm behind a root ball where a tree had fell over, and I'm hiding down on one knee. This deer stood here so long because the doe got nervous. I grunted to get the attention of the doe to try to bring her over to me, hoping this buck would follow. And now the doe is nervous because she can't find the source of the grunt, and she's not sure if I'm another buck trying to chase her or what's going on. So now that she's nervous, he's nervous. This is definitely a mature buck for Alabama. You guys that maybe live up Midwest looking at this saying this is probably a 3.5-year-old deer, young deer. This dude is a stud. For Alabama, definitely a mature buck. You can see the squared off body. I don't know how old this deer is, but he's mature. That's all I need to know. These younger bucks that are around him, one of them's a shooter over to my right. This younger buck's coming in. They're getting a little impatient. You can see the difference in the younger bucks and the older buck. This older buck doesn't like his younger buck getting that close. He snort wheezes at him, letting him know, back off. He's looking at the other 8-point that's to the right of me. He's so close to me, I'm scared to move. I don't know why he looked dead at me. I don't think he saw me. Maybe he did. Maybe he knows I'm there. But that doe's got his attention. He's not going to leave her. Nobody really knows what's going on in a buck's mind. You can only guess. I'm wanting this dude just to come up there and follow the doe so I can get a shot at him. It's not too much to ask. Finally, the deer decides to move forward because this younger buck, I think, is probably agitating him by trying to circle around. When he starts to come up the hill right here, I'm thinking he's coming to the doe, and I'm going to get a shot. So I glance over to the buck at the right to see if he's looking at me, and I get behind the root ball. I'm trying to get in position. When he comes up over that rise, I want to get a shot at this joker. Unfortunately, as I start trying to make my move around that root ball, I think the doe got nervous and took off running. I was paying more attention to the buck to my right, not wanting him to bust me, and I guess I wasn't paying enough attention to the doe to my left. Later, I got up in the tree as soon as they left and was watching this yearling. About 2 hours later, this buck comes slipping in the back door. Now I'm looking at this buck and I'm thinking, he must be the buck I saw that was to my right earlier that day. I'm not really sure if it's the same buck or not, but I'm debating on whether I want to shoot this deer. It's getting late up in the day. He looks like a young deer, and I'm thinking that bigger buck might come back. You just never know. But this is hunting public land, and a lot of things can go wrong on public land. So all these thoughts going through my head, I decided to go ahead and try to make a shot on this buck. He's a good buck for Alabama, but I still think he's a young deer. Now you guys look at this deer and tell me how old you think he is, and don't lie. Later on you're going to find out. Here I am fixing to make the shot.
Got my deer. Alright, let me tell you the story. First off, this is the smaller of the 3 bucks that I've seen today. The other buck might have been about this same size, but I've seen 3 bucks chasing a doe in here this morning. I come walking in here and basically spotted these deer chasing and got down on one knee and videoed them for a while. My battery's getting low, so I'm gonna have to hurry up. But I am not believing I made this happen. I sat there and I watched the deer for quite a while, videoing them on the ground. Had deer to my left, deer to my right, deer in front of me, grunting, chasing, carrying on. I let them get over here on this ridge, and as soon as they got out of sight, I went right over there where the doe was, on that scent trail, and I climbed one of these scaly bark pine trees, making all kind of racket, trying to be quiet. Didn't think I was going to get by with it because this is wide open woods in here. You can see for 300 yards all the way around. I got no cover. I'm in a big, giant, tall, big pine tree, but it wasn't skinny, thank goodness. And this one come up behind me. The does were out in front of me. They came back, started feeding around. I had grunted a few times and called the does back over here, and he come easing up behind me. I could hear him behind me, but I didn't want to move because I knew he was pretty close, and I actually let him come around the side before I got a glance at him. Made a good shot. He run about 80 yards. I heard him crash. Now I got to get him out of here. Good hunt. I ain't believing I made this happen. Hunting on the ground, climbed a tree, and still killed a buck this morning. In wide open woods with a bow, no less. On the day of a gun deer hunt. I'm at Oak Muggy Management area on a gun deer hunt. I decided to bring the bow. So, not a bad deer. About even with the ears, a little outside. Good deer.
The biologist said he was 4.5 years old. I know, right?